Manic. Episodes.
Who knows if anybody will ever see this? Welcome everybody to the first pilot, potentially never to be unearthed or seen by a living, breathing human being episode of Manic Episodes with Mike Cannon. This is it, babe. Solo podcast that truly almost nobody has been asking for, but I need a way to fill my time during the day while my son is at school and I have nobody to play with. I've set a fire here, got some books that belong to my wife to make it look like I am well read. I have a bit of, just notice that, I have some sooty hands. I have this all the time because I have this sick ass, I almost called it an oven, but it's very clearly a fireplace. And I like to make fire because it makes me feel like Tom Hanks in Castaway. And every single time I do it, I hit my knuckle, do whatever, and I get these sooty fingies. And I'm curious, sometimes I don't even notice it, and I'm curious if anybody ever sees me and thinks I'm coming straight from an underground minstrel show. This morning was crazy. It wasn't crazy, but it did start with a question that I wasn't prepared for. My son, immediately upon waking me up, woke me up by just breathing heavily into my mouth from this distance away. And immediately upon my eyes opening was like, "Dad, is Zero a baby? Is Zero a baby?" And the thing is, this is the problem with kids, is I understand what he meant, and I totally get it, and Zero is a baby. We're going through numbers. He's learning things. 1, he knows you're 1 year old, he knows you're 2 years old, he kind of remembers maybe 2, a little bit of 3, now he's 4, fully cemented within our hellish consciousness, and now he's like, is Zero, because technically I was alive when I was 0, is Zero a baby? And I was like, dude, my brain has just been swimming with that all day because a number being a baby or a number representing a human is just, I almost cried on the spot. But then he asked me something. Then he got a little too greedy because then he goes, "Dad, is 25 a rainstorm?" And I was like, all right, now you're almost gonna get sent away to a special school because that's unacceptable thoughts. That's what I like to do with my son. I give positive reinforcement to the stuff that really gets me and grasps me. All of his education is based on my personal interest. So I really agree. Oh my God, I'm so hot. Why did I do this in front of the fireplace and think it was a good idea? I feel this must be how Ari Shaffir felt during his special taping with 6 million candles behind him. Each candle representing, all right. I went to the gym this morning, just bragging. Oh, now I'm gonna end up getting this on my face, and it's gonna be just a video that exists on my phone and nobody else is allowed to see, because at that point, plausible deniability will not work. I went to the gym this morning. Look at me, Mr. Motivated. I saw a guy in his car, and this, I wish this could be me, but it can't be me anymore. I just do not have the ability to fight off what he was doing while also motivating myself to go to the gym. So I'm there, I'm taking my deep breaths to get out of my car into the cold air for the short, brisk walk to the gym. And I look over to my right, and there is a guy hitting a joint like a first time, or actually like he was trying to gain life from it, almost. Like he was like, I've never seen, there's a FedEx guy just kind of too far up on my property. They usually drop it down there. That's weird that he was just walking past my window and kind of looking in. But dude, I remember friends doing that when you first start smoking weed and you take those big deep hits and then the blunt starts canoeing and you want to absolutely take your day out on your friend. There is nothing more infuriating than somebody that doesn't know how to hit marijuana. Even when you're like 15, you're like, what are you, new to this? I didn't even smoke till I was 20, so that's just a memory I made up for you guys to hopefully relate to. So I don't know if you guys do this, but I have, again, Manic Thoughts, this is gonna be all over the map. I'm not even gonna give a mission statement for this podcast because I don't even know what it's going to be. It's gonna be short, I know that. I did tell Nicole, our producer, who is not with me in my own home, but we may record at her house sometimes. We're not gonna have a consistent studio. I did tell her I have no idea what I want this to look like. I may get up and get a glass of water in the middle of the show and I want the camera to follow me. She's like, the episode's 10 minutes long. How many glasses of water are you gonna need? Fair point. But that's kind of what I want it to be. A little frenetic, a little all over the place. Maybe I might get one of those like body cams that I can kind of walk around in road cities and bring you guys along with me. But either way, I just want this to be an unfiltered stream of consciousness just in what I have been thinking in the last few days. Because guys, that's what podcasting is. Cut that part out. Oh, so at the gym. So I have enemies at the gym, only at the gym. I don't have enemies in real life aside from like anonymous people that would love to see me dead, online people. But in real life, I don't. Like, I get along with mostly everybody. I'm pretty malleable. I just take social beatings constantly, so people find me to be agreeable. Like, I don't draw boundaries well when people are just like unloading their life trauma on me, and I'm just like, oh, we're this deep into a conversation 6 minutes into meeting each other. Okay, I guess I'm just that kind of guy that can just open people up. But no, I'm just the kind of guy that people want to abuse. But there's people at the gym that I have this relationship with, and it's both positive. Like, I have enemies at the gym, and I have best friends, friends for life at the gym, and neither of those parties know that we're in a relationship. It doesn't take a lot either. All it takes for you to be my best friend in the gym is just human decency. Wipe off the machine, maybe a little nod, acknowledgement that there's a sentient human in your general vicinity. The people that walk around gyms as if, like, we're all just passing leaf eater dinosaurs that don't have anything to do with each other. Like, it's just weird to me to not acknowledge other people. And plus, I'm always just staring, trying to get eye contact just in case somebody might recognize me from the internet. But, so that might be mostly on me. But then there's guys, there's friends, you know, they're like, oh, thank you, good to see you, whatever, best friend. I will take a bullet for that guy just because he wiped his bag sweat off the shoulder press. But there are enemies that do not look at me or look through their eyebrows or just cold and indifferent, and those people I am willing to go to prison for the rest of my life for. Like, I don't know why, but it enrages me to such a level to see some rickety 75-year-old guy who's just trying to push it 8 to 10 more years. He just wants to stick around, see his grandchildren grow up, and I'm just grilling this guy because he can't, for the life of him, take his November brown leaf face and crinkle it into a smile because it all might just dissipate in the wind. Does that make sense? There's no way that if I'm left to my own devices, all of this is going to connect with other human beings. But I think that's what this is gonna be. It's just trial and error to see how much my brain is on the same highway as those who are not clinically insane. Yeah, so I might kill an old man, but it's jokes. But he deserves it. I don't know why. Do you guys, write in the comments below. Do you agree? Do you fantasize about this stuff? Because I bring it up on stage, and I gotta tell you, I feel quite alone when I'm talking about violent fantasies, and people just kind of retreat into the back of their head like it's Get Out. I'm like, I know for a fact other people are angry. I know that's a human emotion. There's no way that I'm the angriest, easiest to piss off human being in a moment. I gotta shift the entire perspective on who I am as a human being, because I feel like all I talk about is how angry I am, because that's, I don't know, this is the only place I can really let it rip, because what am I gonna sit my 4-year-old down and tell him how the world sucks and why it has mistreated his father and how it's just so bleak that anything he hopes and dreams for now will likely get smashed in his face like a cream pie? No, I can't tell him that. And then if I want my wife to be attracted to me, I can't let her in on what a loser I think I am. I have to walk around like an alpha male with my chest pumped and my dick puffed and hard, ready to go. So I can't be just such a fucking sunken shouldered cuck in front of her. So you guys, unfortunately, just get all of my bile, all of the venom, and all of the nastiness, and I want to change that. I want to actually flip it to where my family is getting the worst version of me and you guys are getting the good stuff. Dude, this is gonna be old news by the time this comes out, but who knows? We might put this on Patreon, Christy Comedy for Patreon, just to see what you guys think, see if there's any things we can mess around with the edit, with how this, not platform, the segments, organization, things of that nature. If you just don't wanna see this, that's fine. That gym thing, it made me realize I think I want to die by fist fight. Like, I don't want to die in my sleep. That was my initial goal. I think that's a lot of people's goal because they're scared of death, reasonably so. But I think when I'm 83 years old, I am gonna find a 20 to 25-year-old just testosteroned up boy and see if he could be as psychotic as I once was, and maybe poke him, pick a fight with him, and get him to end my life with just a solid punch to the temple so it could just cease my life, end his at the exact same time. I don't know why I want to take somebody with me, but I do. Basketball. I was thinking about that. I watch a lot of NBA. I watch NBA the way like 11-year-olds watch the NBA, which is through TikTok and Instagram. I am a complete highlight whore. I don't watch full games, don't have the time. I catch glimpses here and there when I'm, moving in and out of shows, bars, etc., all that stuff. But I don't get to watch full games, so I realize that I'm watching it almost like a woman watches the Kardashians or Real Housewives. Like I'm catching just the highlights, and I'm more invested in the rumor mill than I am in the actual sport. So somebody get me a pink Knicks hat. That's what I'm saying. Buy me a pink Knicks hat, maybe a starter. I will wear a vibrating Knickerbockers thong embedded into my anus. And man, that would be a fun way to watch a fourth quarter. But I did watch the Bucks. This might be outdated by the time this is released, but who knows? I'm gonna try to make it evergreen. They just fired their rookie head coach like 3 months or 2 months into a season. The guy coached like 43 games and is 30-13, unbelievable record. There's already rumors that he told, Giannis is almost the best player in the entire league. He is unreal. He's got a brother who basically, it's like The Air Up There. You ever see that movie with Kevin Bacon? The Jimmy Dolan Shake and Bake. That's the actual accent, didn't just make it up for effect. It's like that type of raw athleticism and just a kid who has never been taught or is good at basketball, but because he's the brother of the greatest player on the team, potentially the league, he has a roster spot. So I think that coach was like, dude, you need to go in the Milwaukee Bucks Special Olympics arm of basketball. Like, you can play for that team, you can't. Because he's just limbs, he's all limbs everywhere. Even when he's trying to do the right thing, he can't. And he's also super confident because his brother's good, so through osmosis, he has an ego. It's the best, dude. I am pro nepotism, by the way, because if nepotism didn't exist, how would losers like me live? My sister is funneling. No, I'm kidding. But how would, that's the whole point. Isn't the whole point to have some sort of successful brother, sister, father, whatever, so you can have just some leg up? What happened to America? I think that's my goal, honestly, or it was for my father to be the president so I could smoke rock in the Oval Office. People are condemning this, but I think deep down we're all a fan of that behavior. I think we all, if on our wildest party night, we're like, man, if I could just somehow end up with the red phone to my left and a pipe to my right and diplomatic immunity, I could have a fun Saturday night. Will this show continue? Oh, maybe send me topics. If you want to hear me, if you have something specific you want to hear from me, yeah, give me topics or something, maybe that'll help. Some connection to the fans. I might not use them.
Manic.
Episodes.